Hi, this is Corella again from Welcome, WYLCOME.com, and also PDNetworks.com, iPDNetworks.com. So I'm back again. And I'm back again talking about a 5-paragraph, college-level 5-paragraph essay. And how do you go about writing one? A good one, right? A good 5-paragraph college academic essay. So don't forget, remember the last video I talked about, remember this is a stool, and you have all these different legs. You have 4 legs, and one leg is dealing with structure. The other leg is dealing with grammar. The other leg is dealing with vocabulary. Remember I said that vocabulary can sometimes intersect with grammar, but it's a separate category on its own. And of course, punctuation. One good way of starting an essay is to do an outline. Because when you do an outline, you're not really being bothered so much, because you do want to use good grammar, you want to use correct vocabulary, and you also want to use correct punctuation, but it's not in your way as much. But you'll see by doing an outline whether you have your essay structured or not. So what I'm going to do is erase this, and in this video what I'm going to be talking about is structure. Okay, not so much grammar, vocabulary, punctuation. So today I'm basically talking about structure. Okay, so I'm going to erase this and talking about how do you structure your essay. And I'm going to do it through making or creating an outline. So structure, how to structure your essay. Okay. The most important thing that you have to have before you have anything else, because otherwise you don't know what you're writing about, is the thesis statement. Because I'm basically not talking about informative essays in which your job is to go and to find information about X, Y, and Z, gather all that information together, and just write an essay on the information that you have received. I'm basically talking about a persuasive essay in which you're trying to persuade someone to do something, or to believe something, or to come around to your way of thinking. All right? So the first thing you have to be cognizant of, the first thing you have to first think about and work on before anything else is a thesis statement. Because this is what you want to convince the person about, your thesis statement. One thing that's very important, a thesis statement is not a statement of fact. Because when you have a statement of fact, basically all you're doing is gathering material in order to support that fact. Whereas a thesis statement is a statement of opinion. And you're trying to convince someone, if they don't agree with your opinion, at least to see your perspective, your point of view. So your thesis statement is not a statement of fact, it is an opinion. Let's give an opinion. Let's see. I've been thinking about it. So let's imagine this is before the election, and I'm trying to decide whether I should not vote for President Obama. Should I give him a second term? Should I or shouldn't I? Or should I give Mitt Romney, the Republican candidate, a try? So my thesis statement would be, let's say I've come to some kind of conclusion that President Obama should be re-elected. Now that's an opinion. That's not a fact. That's my opinion. So here it is. President Obama, I'm going to write this small so I'm going to get everything on there. Notice it's a sentence. I'm not just writing just a bunch of words together. I'm writing a sentence. So President Obama should be re-elected. Okay, that's nice. You know, I can say what I want. But if I'm going to write an essay, now I have to support why I feel that President Obama should be re-elected. So let me think of 3 things. Let me think. So number 1, President Obama would be responsible putting, let's say, someone on the Supreme Court, and that person could determine whether the Supreme Court strikes down abortion laws. So let's say that President Obama should be re-elected because he's pro-choice. Now that's my opinion, right? Not saying that you agree with it, but that's one good reason why I think he should be re-elected. And because he's pro-choice, laws come out of that. He will put in position certain types of people, and probably they'll be pro-choice. So number 1, President Obama should be re-elected. Okay, number 1, President Obama, I'm just going to put this, Obama is pro-choice. So this is one reason that I think. Now somebody else would say, because President Obama is pro-choice, he should not be re-elected. So you can take these points and make them a pro or con. The second reason, let's say, okay, is President Obama should be re-elected because he will work on a comprehensive immigration bill. So he will use his political capital to make sure that a comprehensive immigration bill is passed into law so that the 25 million undocumented workers, I do not say illegal immigrants, I say undocumented workers, will have a way of legalizing their status. So President Obama supports a comprehensive, I'm just going to put comprehensive immigration bill. A third reason why President Obama should be re-elected, let's say, has to do with taxes. That he believes that every segment of our society, whether you're talking about the very, very rich to people who are not the richest, not necessarily the poorest, but not the richest, should pay their fair share of taxes. So maybe I think he should be re-elected because he will pass laws which will make the very, very rich, who up until this time maybe have not been paying their fair share, will pay their fair share of taxes. So President Obama will make everyone pay their fair share of taxes. Now, we have a good part of the essay already done, whether you know it or not. We already have our thesis statement. Where is it? President Obama should be re-elected. Now, because I'm only writing a 5-paragraph essay, I'm only going to have 3 points. Okay? So I have 3 points to support my thesis statement. So President Obama is pro-choice, therefore he should be re-elected. President Obama supports a comprehensive immigration bill, so therefore he should be re-elected. President Obama will make everyone pay their fair share of taxes, so therefore he should be re-elected. Now, what do I do next? Very quickly. You see this point 1? Now this is your introductory paragraph. Now, all you do is the following. You see the first point, President Obama is pro-choice. Write that here. Give me 3 points to support that. So point 1, point 2, and point 3. and only talk about, because this is the first paragraph of your body, you're only going to be talking about that President Obama is pro-choice. President Obama supports a comprehensive immigration bill, which is point 2. Comprehensive immigration bill. 3 points that support that. 1, 2, 3. President Obama will make everyone pay their fair share of taxes. President Obama, fair share of taxes. 3 points that will support that. Now, I'm not saying these points are easily gotten. And maybe you might have to choose something else because you don't have 3 points to support, that President Obama is pro-choice, therefore, or immigration bill, therefore, fair taxes, therefore. Okay. But if you do, then you have 3 points to support your first point, which supports the thesis. 3 points to support your second point, which supports the thesis. 3 points to support your third point, which supports the thesis. And then, what do? Then you have a conclusion. And your conclusion should just be you restating your thesis statement and maybe lightly going over your 3 points to support your thesis statement. But you never, and I use the word never, introduce a new subject in your conclusion. Because your conclusion should tie everything up in a nice, pretty bow. So, restating thesis. Right? If you're able to write a good outline in which you support each one of your points, let me tell you what you have just before we end this video. You have a strong, tight essay. So that if someone wants to argue with you, they're arguing with your points. Well, I believe if you're pro-choice, you should not be reelected. I don't believe that undocumented workers should be given a free hand or a free ride or whatever argument you have. They'll be arguing with your point, but they won't be arguing with the way you have structured your argument. If you want to write a 6-paragraph essay, then you make 4 points. 7-paragraph essay, then you make the points that fit a 7-paragraph essay. But each point that you use to support your thesis should be a paragraph. Sometimes, depending on whether you want to write a paper, maybe this one point can be divided into 3 separate paragraphs. Because you have more time and more room, I should say, not time, you have more room. But whatever you do, when you write a 5-paragraph essay, college level, academic, you want it tight, you want it strong, so that your arguments are there, and people have to deal with your argument and not with how you have written, but what you have written. So this, once again, my name is Carolyn Ficklin McLean. I'm from Welcome, WYLCONE Network, and come visit us sometimes. Thank you very much.